All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rechakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. I'm your brother, Rabbi Knapp, coming out with a lesson, Lord's will, edifying to the Lord's elect. Let's look into the news, see what's going on. And let's keep it popping, man. See what this devil's doing today. See what this devil's doing, man. You don't know who I'm talking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Of course, it says Russia bombards Ukraine as U.S. says progress made in talks with Kiev. So they're supposed to be making progress. They're supposed to be stopping the wars, okay? But that's how they consider progress, when they go blow some shit up. Can't even get out of the damn fire hydrant's way, man. So that's what Esau does. You know, he likes to go to war. That's what he likes to do. We start off in the book of Revelation, the 6th chapter. I'll start at the top. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard as it were a noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, come and see. And I saw and behold a white horse, and he that saw him sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. So the Lamb also ultimately is talking about Yahushai, right? And him sitting on that white horse, and he had a bow. Ultimately, that's Yahushai on the chariots, okay? And he's the one who was given the crown. He was given all authority because of the sacrifice that he had done for the nation of Israel. When you read Revelation, the 5th chapter, it talks about how everybody was worshiping the Lamb in heaven. They were worshiping the Lamb, right? And it says, he sat on him, had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, which is authority, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. Because when he comes down here, he's going to conquer these nations that have power, because with their power, what are they doing with it? Wickedness. They're not establishing the law, statutes, and commandments. They don't understand that the Lord gave these heathen nations this power. Revelation 6 verse 3, and when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, come and see. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. So here it is, a red horse. This is the Lord. The seals are the understanding of the scriptures, okay? He was the one that was worthy enough to open the 7 seals. So we're opening up the seals, we're getting the understanding of what he saw, okay? And what he saw was a horse that was red. A horse represents power, okay? Hence why they call it horsepower. And that red represents Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, who came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau in the book of Genesis, the 25th chapter, in the, in the 25th, Genesis 25, in verse 25. It says, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Okay, so they called his name Esau. He came out red all over like a hairy garment, because you so-called white people, you're not white, you're red, okay? You're red. Where the weed at, Unc? Quit bullshitting, see? Where the weed at, Unc? Oh, man, Genesis 27. In verse 41, it says, and Esau hated Jacob, Salakia, in verse 40, Genesis 27 and 40, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So Esau, he was being ruled over by the Israelites, his brother, okay? But the point of that, me bringing that scripture out, it says, by the sword shalt thou live. So now that we know why the horse is red, because it's talking about Esau, number one. Number two, where it says, and that they should kill one another. Esau, through these wars, World War I, World War II, that's Edomite versus Edomite fighting each other. And what happened was, everyone is in the midst of the so-called white man fighting each other over land and resources, just like he did as Alexander the Greek. When he died, they all put crowns upon their heads, and they all fought amongst one another to try to gain that power that they once had. And that's what they're doing today. These Edomites, these Edomite nations, they call themselves Russians, they call themselves Americans, they call themselves Europeans, okay? But these are just a bunch of damn devils fighting like they always, that's in their heart. This is that great sword, and there was given unto him a great sword. The great sword was the ability to have military capability, okay? So that's Esau, Edom, that's his blessing. That's the so-called white man's blessing, his gun. He go around shooting, conquering, stealing, robbing, killing. That's his blessing, okay? And that's what Revelation 6 and 4 is talking about. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, come and see, and I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. Now, when you look at the word balances, it goes into zygos, it goes into slavery, okay? Balances also represent some form of justice. You know, when the scales are equal, then justice is being served. But when the scales are off, that's injustice being served, and that's what's going on here. And it also goes into this economy. This economy is going to be, because it's an unjust economy, you're gonna have to work more for little, okay? You're gonna have to pay the difference of the scales, because he deals with unjust weights. He's trying to put a situation where your money is now digital, so now he can just print money on a screen, and that's your currency. When it tells you in the book of Genesis, I believe the 13th chapter, that gold and silver, that's real money. When you operate with gold and silver, you know, back then we would put the gold on a scale and you get the equal and opposite weight, you know, of whatever you were purchasing. But this devil, he manipulated all of that. So now he can, and that's how he can prosper. Because if he can manipulate the scales, then someone's being oppressed. And that's what this nigga Esau does, okay? And I call him a nigga because when you have the understanding, you'll understand that he was actually a so-called black man before. You know, you call people niggas, right? Well, the so-called white man that you see today in the Bible, he was the first fucking black man. Now, he wasn't the first black man. He was the serpent in the garden who was a so-called black man. He was melanated then, but it was the spirit that was in this nigga that was in Cain, and now it's in Esau, Edom, who bears the mark of Cain, okay? But he's actually the serpent, the devil, all right? Revelation chapter 6 and verse 5. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, come and see, and I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. Your word balances goes in, I believe the word is zygos in the Greek. So you gotta look these things up if you don't know what I'm talking about. Revelation 6 verse 6, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. So a measure of wheat for a penny. When you look at that word penny, it goes into, I believe it's denarios or denarian, which is a day's pay. A Roman, a day, let me grab it. Let me just grab it. Shalom, Chican. Shalom, man. Shalom, Malakia. How about Hashem Yahushua Barakatah? Okay. We're going to go in the book of Revelation, chapter 6, and verse number 6. That's where I'm going. And I'm looking up the word, what? Zygos. I'm looking up the word, no, penny, Salakia. In the Blue Letter Bible app. If you don't know what's going on here, okay? You get an interlinear, get your study on, man. Go look up these words for yourself so you can be saved in these last days, man. I ain't gotta tell you how to do this, man. It's very easy. So that word parabiolensis does go to zygos, but let's go to Revelation 6, verse 6. In the concordance, looking up the word penny. And the word is denarion. Denarion. It means containing 10. It's a Roman silver coin. In New Testament time, it took its name from it being equal to 10 asses. An ass is a donkey. A number after 217 BC increased to 16, about 3.898 grams or 0.1375 ounces. It was the principal silver coin of the Roman Empire. From the parable of the laborers in the vineyard, it would seem that a denarius was then the ordinary pay for a day's wages. So that's what it is. So let's read that again. Revelation chapter 6, verse 6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny. A penny means a day's pay. A measure of wheat. Okay, what do we use wheat for? We use wheat to make what? Bread, okay? So you're gonna have to pay a whole day's pay for some bread, all right? And 3 measures of barley for a penny. So 3 measures of barley for a penny. So what this is saying is there's going to be inflation. That's what that's saying. And what do you see today in the world? Do you see inflation at all? Do you hear about people complaining about grocery prices and things like that? Is there an issue in America where the duck is trying to lower the prices of your food and your groceries? Yes, there is. Revelation 6, verse 6. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. The oil and the wine is the truth, is this word. It hasn't been hurt, okay? It's going out, but it's only gonna go out for so long and then it's gonna come to an end. And then you gotta rely on your silly understanding of the world. And that's not gonna sustain you. That's not gonna sustain you, man. And then you're gonna fall. You're gonna make the wrong decisions. You're gonna move and go to the wrong direction and you're going to die. That's what fall means. And you're not gonna get back up. All right? Let me see, am I finished with that? See thou hurt not the oil and the wine. Let me go to Genesis, the 27th chapter. This is our blessing. So Esau's blessing is the sword. The scriptures are referred to as a sword. So we got a sword too, but this sword is being wielded in the spirit, okay? So I'm swinging a sword through the spirit. He's swinging his sword, which is his gun, his missiles and things like that. Right now, Ukraine's fighting Kiev. You know, so whoever lives in that area, it's not, these two idiots are fighting, these two Edomite nations are fighting each other, and everybody gotta suffer. Everybody gotta suffer because this devil covets land, he wants to steal, he wants to take. That's what the whole point of war. It actually isn't, war isn't really, it's very primitive when you really look at it. Because it shows you that two people can't actually talk. That's more powerful than just pulling out a sword and blowing each other away. But that's how Esau does business. He built a society where war is the solution. Genesis 27 and I'll start at verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also. Nope, Salakia, we got to go up. Genesis 27, verse 37. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him, talking about Jacob, thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? Yeah, so with corn and wine, we're supposed to be sustained with the scriptures. This is supposed to hold us over. This is enough. This is what's going to keep us in a good, we're going to be all right with just with the little bit we got here in this book. All right? And this is enough to hold us, get us over the hump. All right? Let's go to the book of Joel, chapter 2. Joel, chapter 2. And where you at, Joel? Joel chapter 2. In verse Joel chapter 2. In verse, start at 18, I believe. Then will the Lord be jealous for his land and pity his people. Yea, the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai will answer and say unto his people, who are the Israelites, behold, I will send you corn and wine and oil, and ye shall be satisfied therewith, and I will no more make you a reproach among the heathen. Okay, so that's why this corn and this wine, we're not going to be a reproach among the heathen anymore. And as we're starting to see, some of that reproach is going to some of these other nations. Right now, the Somalians are being called garbage. Okay, that's a reproach. All right, and there's going to be more rhetoric like that amongst these other nations. It's going to keep escalating. Everything's going to escalate to the point he's trying to hide. He don't want you to know what he's doing. He don't want you to know he's indiscriminately murdering people in foreign lands. He don't want you to know that he's being exposed for being the devil. He don't want you to know any of these things, man. His different political, his policies that he's trying to implement. He's trying to implement policies. He don't want you to know it, right? He wants you to stay asleep. And he damn sure don't want you to know what your blessing is, because he don't want you to operate in your blessing, okay? Which is this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, hence the oil and the wine. Revelation 6 verse 7, and when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, come and see. And I look, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him, and the power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. And that's talking about Esau. He's as death. He is as hell. He enlargeth his desire as hell. That's Esau. Let's go grab this in the book of Habakkuk. In the book of Habakkuk. Habakkuk chapter 2. I'll start at the top. And I will stand upon my watch, and set me upon the towers, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And so Habakkuk is standing upon a tower. Okay, you stand upon the towers in Jerusalem so you can see what's going on, and then you warn the people. And then with that warning, they're supposed to take heed. They're supposed to trust in their watchmen. Okay, that's why it's a specific type of job for Israel. Okay, they didn't want anybody. Some people, you could see what type of spirit they're in the things that they're talking about. They're looking at the shit that don't matter. Look over here. Oh, somebody got 2 braids in his head, you know. Let me warn the people. You wasting, that's a distraction, okay? So it's up to you to choose to watch men who are watching, so you can be informed, so you know what's going on in this world, man. Because there's a lot of information. If you don't know, until you get built up in the spirit, then you can see it for yourself. The Lord's always talking. He's always making this devil, his tongue to fall upon himself, okay? He can't help it. Now the truth is coming out, and he can't hold it back anymore. Now he's exposing himself. Okay? This is the book of Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1. And I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Yeah, make the vision plain, meaning making it simple, understandable. You know, a lot of these words are written in Old English. You know, it's up to you to go interpret, decipher it, believe it, digest it, eat the whole roll, and then go make it plain. Okay? So he may run that readeth it. So when you hear the word, I'm running right now. I'm like Paul Revere warning the nation of Israel about the things to come. Because the Lord put the Spirit on me to see the prophecies. I can see the vision of this place being destroyed. So I'm fully aware that this place is going to be done. And it's up to the prophets to go tell and wake up the other prophets that are out there so they know that this place is going to get destroyed, demolished, and they need to get their act together now with the truth. Not walking in the ways of these heathen that don't know and don't operate in the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. It's the book of Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So basically it's going to not tarry, it's going to happen, okay? But it said at the end it shall speak. Now the scriptures are speaking now. We can see that the inflation's coming. We see the wars. We've seen 2 other wars. He's telling you that there's going to be a 3rd world war, okay? And we can see that on the horizon. When you got Ukraine, you got China, you got what's going on with the Palestinians and the Israelis. You know, you got the Iranians and the Russians. You know, so people being stirred up in that area. And that's us. That's prophecy being fulfilled. The Euphrates River is drying up, just like when you read about history. I think it was Darius. I think it was Persians. What's up, man?
Making content about something. Yeah,
I'm just reading the Bible.
Yeah, man, that's what I thought you were doing. Yeah. I'm a Jesus freak.
What's up?
So yeah, you just hanging out? That's cool. That's cool. You got a page or something?
Well, first, let me tell you who I am.
Sure,
so,
I'd stop to do
yeah,
this.
Yeah. So
your name?
I'm Rabbi Nap.
Rabbi?
Nap.
Nap.
Rabbi Nap.
Yeah, like rabbi, like Jewish rabbi.
No, like Rab meaning R-A-B.
Yeah.
I Nap.
Rab Nap.
I Nap.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I got it.
A lot of people believe in Jesus.
Yeah.
But the letter J was created in 1524. Did you know that?
Yeah.
So you know that. So why are people calling him Jesus if he was a Hebrew? He was an Israelite.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so
yeah.
A lot of people think that salvation is for everybody.
Yeah and no.
Okay.
I mean,
what do you think?
Well, salvation is for everybody.
Okay.
I would say. I mean, I don't.
What
think,
is salvation?
I don't think it's glory. It's an afterlife.
It's glory in the afterlife. Okay.
Yeah. It's being with God and Jesus personally, with the Trinity, the Holy Spirit. I'm a Catholic. Get that out of the way right now. And yeah, you would refer to.
You mind you get in here with me?
No, man, I can't.
Yeah,
get
in here with me.
Yeah, how you doing?
Yeah.
Skip O'Neill, man. How you doing?
Yeah. So talk to me. So
okay.
So salvation is for everybody. You think?
I think that when God made a soul or a person, his goal for that person is to love and worship Him and make it into salvation with Him for eternity. If I could say that I'd say that quickly, right?
Okay. I just want to read this to you.
Yeah, sure. I'm not. I see now the Bible. I've read through it 2 or 3 times, but I have not call it gobbled it up. So I have not.
So then you gotta learn.
So I want to hear. Tell me where you're coming from in there.
John 4 verse 22.
Yep.
Ye worship ye know not what, for salvation is of the Jews. So what this precept is saying, when you read John, the 4th chapter,
yep,
he's talking to the woman at the well.
Okay.
So she's at the well. He's asking,
she's a Gentile, right?
She's a Gentile.
Yep.
So he's telling her, he's talking about this word.
Yep.
But he's telling her, you worship ye know not what, for salvation is of the Jews. Why would he say that
to
a Gentile?
So are you saying that now by that verse you can interpret I interpret
No, I'm asking you. I'm just read it. What does that mean? Why would he tell a Gentile that if he says in previous verses?
Yeah, say that. Can you read that first verse? That first
John 4 verse 22.
Yep.
Ye worship, ye know not what. Okay. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. So now it's
that's worded kind of weird too. That's worded.
Well, because we have to understand, we have to eat the whole roll.
So you tell me your interpretation of that.
So the interpretation of that, you got to go back into the Old Testament.
Okay.
You got to know. You got to know the history of Israel.
Yep.
So when you learn about that, they were slaves in Egypt, right?
Yep.
They came out of Egypt. The Lord split the Red Sea. He destroyed Pharaoh.
Yep.
He brought them into the wilderness.
Yep. 40 years, yep.
40 years.
Yep, eight manna, yeah, I know, man.
Now we going into the book of Joshua. They cross over the Jordan. They kill the Canaanites. They get the land. They got their inheritance.
Yep, know the story.
King David, King Solomon, 40 years of peace.
Yeah.
Then what?
All wretched men to start.
Right. But then what happens? He started worshiping other gods. He started all these multiple wives.
Yep.
The kingdom gets split up.
Yep.
Into Israel and Judah.
Okay.
So now we have two kingdoms. The northern kingdom Israel and the southern kingdom Judah.
Okay.
What happens in 700 BC, 720, somewhere around there, the Assyrians come in and they take over northern Israel. They kick them out of their land.
Yeah.
They and that's going into 2 Kings, the 17th chapter.
You know your Bible, brother.
Okay, so now that they're kicked out of the land, they bring them into the inner parts of Mesopotamia, and they replace them with Gentiles in that land.
Okay.
So Samaria was known to be a bunch of Gentiles now, right?
All right.
Then they came over here to America. When you read the book, this is the Apocrypha, it's the hidden book.
Okay.
Okay, you got to go into second.
There's a lot of them hidden.
Well, the reason why I'm bringing this book out, because what's important about this is it goes into the Greeks.
Okay.
At the end of the Old Testament, in the book of Malachi, going into the New Testament, that's 400 years missing.
Okay.
But the whole book is about the Israelites.
So what do you define your religion as?
So I'm an Israelite.
Okay.
So I'm from the tribe of Judah. I see a lot of people call themselves Jewish, right?
Yeah.
Today, but they go back to a different nation.
So like a Jewish person it's going to be in name. They're not, if a Jewish person is going out.
But they're claiming to be the children of Israel.
But if the Jewish person, just that guy's Jewish, and he says I'm Jewish, but he doesn't go to his synagogue and he doesn't pray and he doesn't do those type of things, is he still Jewish? Is that man guaranteed salvation?
The way the Jewish people think, first of all, they don't believe in the Lord that you believe in.
No, they believe Jesus was a prophet, a great prophet.
Right. And he was a prophet. He was a prophet too. But he was he was the son of God.
Yeah.
And he did proprophesy.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So
I agree with all those statements.
So he's all of the above. It's not that he's one or the other. He's both.
Yeah.
But what happened with what they do with the reason why how can I put this? Going back, I'm getting a brain fog.
I'm sure you didn't expect someone to come up and start talking to you.
No, people do come. People do
cool.
come, and that's
right
and it's really the Lord.
And I commend your bravery, man.
Hey, I commend that you came over here.
Why don't you put the end is near on?
The end is there.
I know.
The end is there.
I know.
And
you don't read Revelations is one of my calm. I've read that 50 times.
But before I just want to get you up to John 4:22. The reason why he's saying salvation is of the Jews.
Tell me.
So here it is. The northern kingdom's gone.
Okay.
But Judah's still in that land. Judah's still in the northern kingdom.
Yeah, this is 600 BC or
this
something.
Is now we're going. That's 700 BC.
Now
Going
John,
into 500.
we're talking about John, who wrote in AD.
Right. But we got to know the history.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You probably
because
don't know as much as you, but
this
I do
woman
read.
is a Samaritan.
Yes.
So the Lord is in Samaria.
Yeah.
So he's talking to her.
So what makes a Gentile?
There's two types of Gentiles in the Bible.
Yes.
So a Gentile just means it just means heathen.
Heathen.
It's a heathen.
That's what I thought.
So everybody's a heathen that wasn't, even other Israelites who don't operate under the law, statutes, and commandments. When the Lord when we came out of Egypt, the Lord gave the law, statutes, and commandments to the nation of Israel.
Okay.
He didn't give it to everybody else. So they were supposed to keep the law, statutes, and commandments.
When Jesus came, he changed the rules.
He did. Now
he guaranteed salvation for every man that believes.
Okay. That's. Let me grab this.
So long and short.
Let the scripture speak.
Go ahead, Ruth. Yeah.
Because we're gonna go to Matthew 1. Okay. Because this Matthew 1 verse 21. Okay. It says,
early.
And
early
she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus.
Yeah.
For he shall save his people from their sins.
Yeah.
What is sin?
What is sin?
Yeah.
Anything that displeases God.
So sin, according to 1 John 3 and 4, is the transgression of the laws. they transgressed these laws.
The 619 laws that they had to live by?
Yes. Well, 613.
Okay. I'm off a couple.
But that's not even, they're both wrong because you're not supposed to take the mark of the beast. That's that's another commandment.
Yeah, what's the mark of the beast though?
It's the RFID microchip that we see. The same mark that chip that they put, the RFID microchip that they put in cats and dogs.
Dude, I'm with you, dude.
They're gonna put that.
You're giving me, you're putting that fucking shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lord.
I swear all the time.
Yeah, I try not to.
I try not to too.
I don't say a certain couple swears like
It's not that
GD. And
but that's not really a sin.
It's not. It's not. I don't believe it is. But
right.
I still don't want to.
But they teach people
mess
that.
up. Well, I was going through classes to become a Catholic. And this old lady. I'm a construction worker. And I just got out.
Can we just get over
yeah.
here?
Oh yeah,
bit?
I just got
You're
on.
running me off the block, man.
Sorry, I'm talking to you, not this camera.
Yeah,
So I just got out of this thing called Cursillo. It's a weekend for Jesus. It's a Spanish translation, a mini course in Christianity. I just found Jesus. So I get in this lady and I'm like, all this swearing, right? All this swearing, and she's like, yeah, but hold on, this is just funny. I'm not sure I believe, maybe. But she goes, okay, so say you're at work and you smash your thumb and you scream the word fuck out, and you guys hear you. No one hears you. No offense to anybody. No sin. Same scenario. Skip bangs his thumb. 2 old ladies are walking by, and I scream out all the 7, 8 words. Offend these 2 old ladies, there would be sin there.
No.
This is what I don't agree with it. This is what the lady.
Let me tell you
said.
something. The reason.
What about no foul will ever come out of your mouth? Like it says somewhere in the
That's
Bible.
not a sin. There's no law that's going to tell you. You wanna. Yeah, you can. The things that you say shows what you believe. That's what defileth the man. How much you actually know the scriptures. So, for example, by you telling the way you're speaking shows me you don't really know. I can say I do lack. Well, you said the word Catholic.
Yep.
So you're way over here through the Spirit, because Catholicism goes into universal. Israel's supposed to be separate from these other gods.
But didn't the apostles start the Catholic Church?
Well, that's what they teach here. So you think the Roman Catholic Church that went in there in 70 AD and defiled the temple has the truth?
Defiled the temple?
Well, they went in 70 AD. 70 AD, the Roman Jewish wars.
Okay, I'm not familiar with
You have to learn about that.
Yeah.
So when you read Matthew the 24th chapter, that's what the Lord was talking about. So he's walking in Jerusalem. He's trying to get people to repent because the sword was coming.
Yeah.
He's talking about the Romans.
Okay.
The Romans are going to come in here, but he didn't really. He spoke in parables. It wasn't for everybody.
Yeah, but during Jesus' time, wasn't he in Roman rule?
Yeah. But at that time, they still had the temple. Because when you read this book, you're going to learn about the Maccabean period.
Okay.
The Jews had to fight the Greeks to keep their laws, statutes, and commandments. Because the Greeks wanted them to be uncircumcised. The Greeks wanted them to eat pork. They wanted them to do all of that. Mm-hmm. So they had to fight.
I don't eat pork.
Well, that's a Greek custom. They wanted them to follow them. You got to learn about Antiochus.
What about circumcision?
Circumcision too. That was
given
too.
They chopped me off when I was a little kid.
Well, that came from the nation of Israel.
Yeah, I'd rather have that thing.
Well, the thing is, the most important thing is, the reason why I brought out John 4:22 is because Israel looks like everybody. Yeah. You could be an Israelite. I could be an Israelite.
So Israel itself right now,
yes.
So they're
not the real
that's
people.
Where it's at.
They're Israeli.
Okay, so I'm going to leave you with 2 or 3 things, because my dog's in my truck. You like dogs? I'll bring her over and say hi to you for 1 second. So I just, I didn't take any vaccinations, when they came out with that bullshit a couple of years ago. I don't.
That's good.
I don't trust the government whatsoever.
That's good.
Nothing like that. And I wholly trust in God.
That's good.
With my whole soul.
But this is what we.
So you're saying I got no salvation?
No, I'm saying salvation is of the Jews. Salvation is for. See,
so only Jews are in heaven?
No.
Messed up.
Heaven, that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
But what we need to understand is, a lot of us now, we don't know who we are according to the Bible. Okay. Everything is upside down and flipped inside out. So we
This world.
This world.
Yes.
We only know through the spirit.
Yes.
It's not our color. It's not none of that. It's
Yeah.
through the spirit of you knowing the scriptures. The Lord will reveal it to you through the scriptures.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to take away from this today, my friend?
And if this is what you need to take away. If you
need to do nothing.
You gotta pray. We gotta pray that we're Israel.
Okay.
That's
I
what,
pray for the real Israel.
right.
The
Right.
real.
Yeah, but that's what he's saying because he's only coming to save his people.
I think Israel's not doing what basically the USA is the bad guy.
Right.
And
Right.
so
right.
is Israel.
But I just want to explain. There's a difference between the Israelis who occupied the land of Israel today, who came there in 1948 through the Balfour Declaration,
Yeah.
and the actual descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Okay.
They're two different people.
All right.
If you go in somebody's land and take it over and call yourself them, that doesn't make you an Israelite.
All right. Now, where's the Jews that you're talking about? Where are they? Just
They're
scattered,
scattered
all
abroad.
over the place.
Scattered everywhere.
All right, let's pray. Can we pray real quick before I go?
Now, you got to
Okay.
read Matthew the 6th chapter. Okay, let me read this
One
to
more
you.
time, and then I gotta go.
I got to read this to you because we're not supposed to pray in public.
Okay.
Matthew chapter 6 and verse 5. And when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are. For they love to pray standing in the synagogues and in the corner of the streets,
I know this one
that
well.
they may be seen of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. But thou, when thou prayest, enter into thy closet, and when thou hast shut thy door, pray to thy Father which is in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly. Okay? But when ye pray, use not vain repetitions as the heathen do, for they think that they shall be heard for their much speaking. Be not ye therefore like unto them, for your Father knoweth what things ye have need of before ye ask him. So
Yep.
we got to follow the scriptures. See, the Catholics, they don't teach, it's a whole different doctrine. They teach universalism. Everyone can come in together. They're not trying to bring back the Israelites back to their God. See, when you know you're Israel, you're going to search the scriptures for yourself. The Lord's going to reveal it to you. For you to, you're gonna have this.
I'm gonna dive in, but I gotta go.
Hey,
I spent too much time.
That's
here
all right,
anyway.
man.
No praying again.
Yeah,
Public. I'll see you
all right.
later, man.
Yep.
Good luck. God
Yep.
bless you.
Yeah. All right. Let's go back to Revelation. And that's what happens, man. You know, the Lord. You really don't know who is who through the Spirit. You just gotta hope you're an Israelite, man. You know, because some of us look like Esau, some of us look like these other nations, but it's all through the Spirit, man. And if you can't get that, then it probably ain't for you, man. Back in Revelation, chapter 6, in verse number 7. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, "Come and see." And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. So here it is. I was going into Habakkuk 2 verse 5, talking about Esau. And who knows, maybe Esau popped up. But the water Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Because people are gonna want to know in these last days, man. But his word ain't gonna resonate with everybody. Too many stumbling blocks. You hear the word Jew, you think small hat. You hear the word Israel, you think the land. I get it. You gotta study, man. You in the Catholic Church, man. I mean, a lot of us were into all types of shit in the world, but the Lord gotta reveal unto these things, man. I can't find Habakkuk. What am I doing? Habakkuk. Habakkuk. Where are you? It's a lot. He had pinned eyes. Like needle pin eyes. I don't know what that could be. Can't find it. Damn demon. Habakkuk. Salaki, I gotta get my thoughts together. Habakkuk. Chapter 2. In verse 4. It says, behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. So we got to live by faith. All right? So we don't have any proof on who is who through the Spirit. We just know through the understanding of the scriptures that salvation is only for Israel. These other nations, they don't understand. You know, the Catholic Church ain't bringing you the history of Israel and all of that. You come out of that church not knowing shit, just like him. Oh, I heard this before and blah, blah, blah. They don't really get into the scriptures like that. You're supposed to go there so they can teach you these things, and they don't. They don't teach you these things. Habakkuk 2, verse 5. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So just like it says in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, that's talking about Esau, because he is as death. Okay? He is as death. So that's talking about Esau in Revelation, the 6th chapter. So now that the seals are open, he has some pinned ass eyes, man. Revelation 6 and verse 8. And I look and behold, I read that, Revelation 6 and 9. And when he had opened the 5th seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, how long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? So the righteous souls that were slain are constantly crying out to the Lord. The same thing, man, to destroy this damn devil. And white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season, until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. So there's other men, just like, you know, during that time with our apostles and stuff. That time's gonna come back when you read the book of Revelation, the 20th chapter. As a matter of fact, let me grab that real quick. Revelation chapter 20 and verse 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua, for the word of God, in which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. So they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. Okay? So it says they didn't worship the beast. So that's talking about now. That's talking about the future. That's a future prophecy. Okay? You know, so he's gonna come down with draconian laws, and people are gonna die, man. They're gonna die for this word. Okay? And not a lot of people have that word. Okay? They're not occupied in prophecy. They're not searching these things out. So y'all don't have that spirit of Yahushua. Like it tells you in I think it's Revelation 19. Let me grab that. Revelation 19 verse 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship the heavenly Father, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. So if you got the spirit of prophecy, you be prophesying, you will understand the prophecies. Here it is, the MOTB is right around the corner, and he don't see it. He couldn't even get that. The RFID chip, what is that? You know, it's like, damn, you know, where do you even begin? You're saying words like I go to the Catholic Church then what you stopping over here for? You know, people are bugged out. But hey, the Lord can send somebody for you to give them that information. A lot of people, they don't really, they mean well, but their spirit is off because of this world, man. This world, it keeps you in sleep mode, man. They're not really operating with the scriptures. Revelation chapter 6 and verse number 10. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, how long? I read that. Revelation 6 and verse 12. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as the fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And that's talking about the thermonuclear destruction. Okay, so now we have the understanding of that. So the Lord, he opened up the seal so we could get that information. So now we know about the untimely figs. You know, you shaking a fig tree and the figs fall down is symbolic of the thermonuclear missiles that are coming over here. We also know about the MOTB. We understand now that that's the RFID microchip. It's not sin. It's not whatever these wayward doctrines are saying. That same chip that's in your cat and your dog is gonna go into you, man. Okay? And if you can't see that, then clearly you're not operating in the spirit of prophecy. The Lord should be dealing with you so you can get to know him. He'd be showing you the scriptures. Okay? And you might have came up, but if you're an Edomite, you're not gonna. Esau gets it, the elites, but he sets up these other religions so you don't get it. He don't want you to come to the truth. All right? But the Lord set up men to go out on the highways and hedges, and they go out and they prophesy, and then people get wakened up from that, from their labors. Ultimately, from the Lord putting the spirit on them to go out there and speak. Revelation chapter 6 and verse 14. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. So heaven's rolled up like a scroll. It's going into the thermonuclear destruction. Okay? And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. So they're going to try to hide to escape the judgment of the Lord. And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. So him that sitteth on the throne is the Most High God, Yahweh. And the wrath of the Lamb is his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. He got a purple sweater on with Cesare Borgia on the back, holding his Vesica Pisces together. Okay? Putting the Vesica Pisces to his face, because that's what he worships. He worships female genitalia. Okay? He worships the creature more than the creator. That's what this world worships. Okay? The Mother Mary. Okay? That's what he worships. Revelation 6 verse 17, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? That's the question mark. Who shall be able to stand in the great day of this wrath that's coming? Okay, it's only the elect. Okay, and the heathen too. There are people, let me qualify this. Not everyone's going to be here in America being destroyed. There's going to be heathen in other nations and that are going to survive, but they're going into slavery. That's not salvation. The salvation, the everlasting salvation that's coming to Israel is you not being ruled over by any other people ever again. You're going to be consistently in power perpetually forever. These other nations don't have that blessing. That's not they're going to be in subjection. There's going to be a change of power, and they're going to be ruled over by Israel, the true descendants of the nation of Israel, the true descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay? Whoever they may be. It's not what color you are and things like that. It's about your spirit. Your spirit should be resonating with the word. If it's not resonating with the word, you're not resonating in truth. You're not standing on Yahweh Shai. You're standing on a false doctrine. Okay? So you want to be aware of that. But since he brought it up, Revelation 13, and I'm going to start at the top. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the east, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. So the 7 horns and the 10 crowns is ultimately representing of the beast, the Roman Empire, in its how can I put it? Rome, Spain, all of that, man. Pretty much the Edomite hegemony. Okay, that's what the beast represents. NATO and the EU today, with America sitting on top of that. Okay, that's what that represents. Revelation 13:2, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and the leopard is the Greeks, which is going back to Esau. And his feet were as the feet of a bear. A bear represents the Medes, the Russians. The feet are the end of a thing. And it's also symbolically telling you, spiritually telling you, metaphorically telling you, they're going to be destroyed by the Medes. And his mouth as the mouth of a lion, and the lion going back to the Brits, Great Britain. I believe their coat of arms they had lions and stuff. Ultimately, they took that from Jacob. Okay, but it also is symbolic of the mouth of a lion, Salakia. And his mouth as the mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. And the dragon represents Esau's power structure. It's pretty much telling you about Esau, but with the Roman Empire, but it's prophesying that the Medes are going to destroy it, because the bear represents the Russians or the Medes in the Bible. Okay, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. So the deadly wound was healed because the Romans, they got out of power and then they came back into power, hence why you got America today. Okay, that's that deadly wound that was healed. And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast, and they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him? Yeah, who can make war with Esau, Edom? Nobody, because his blessing was the sword. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And I believe the 42 months goes into the 300 and what is that? 350 years. The 42 months. Hold on, I gotta. Let me look that up. Let me see. Let me look at my notes real quick. Revelation 13 and verse number what? Let me just double check, see if I'm lying or not. Right. Where am I? 42 months. Revelation 13 and 5. The 42 months, this is talking about when the Israelites were in captivity for 350 years, from 1619 to 1969. Spiritually dead. That's what I wrote in my notes. Okay. Going back in 1619, the Northern Kingdom came here on slave ships. The Southern Kingdom, the Northern Kingdom was already here. The Southern Kingdom came here in 1619. But you know, some of them were already here too, because of you know, the mix. How can I put it? We were scattered through all in, so I wouldn't be surprised some Israelites through the scattering were already here with these other tribes. You know, just like you see today, you might see somebody that's from a different nation, but he could be from any tribe. He could be from any tribe. We know through our, through the scriptures that we pretty much go back to whatever our father is. But most of our parents and things think that they think they know who they are, but we'll know all of this definitely when we get into the kingdom. Okay? Revelation 13 in verse number 4, and they worshiped the dragon which gave power unto the beast, and they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him? And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. And that's what he does. He blasphemes the name. People say Jesus. It's really blasphemy, but they don't really know it. They don't know the true name of the Lord. Okay, he's the one who set that name up. Who do you think you are to change the name of the Son of God and his image and his doctrine? That's all blasphemy. And who's been able to do that? The Edomites. The Edomites did that. Okay, they always wanted to do that because they're wicked. Revelation chapter 13 in verse number 6, and he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. So he was given him to make war with the saints. Who are the saints? The saints of the Israelites. Psalms 50 and 5, and what's the other precept? I think Psalms 148 or 147. I forgot what the other one is, but it's in one of those where he says, even of the children of Israel. Let me grab it real quick to see, so I can remember it. I think it's, I like the one in Psalms 50 and 5. That's why I remember that more so, but there's another one in Psalms 148, I believe. And that shows you who the saints are. The saints are the Israelites, man. Esau make it look like it's a bunch of white boys with swords riding horseback, but it's not. It's Psalms 148 and verse 14. He exalteth the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel, a people near unto him. Praise ye the Lord, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash. Revelation chapter 13 in verse 7. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. And Esau, the whole world was given to Esau. According to Job 9 and 24, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Okay, if it wasn't him, who is it? Revelation 13 and 8, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. Yeah, and this is what you see. You're seeing a lot of people worshiping him. Okay, that's what the image is a representation of. You trust in his system, his image, and that's what these people believe in, and that's what's going to destroy them. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 9, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So the saints want to put you in captivity. Okay? That's what we're patiently suffering and waiting for. That's what we're praying for. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Who led the nation of Israel into captivity? A lot of these nations led us into captivity, but ultimately the Lord put us in their hands. He's polluted his inheritance, it says in Isaiah the 47th chapter. His inheritance are his people, the Israelites. Isaiah 47 and verse 6, I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou verily heavily laid thy yoke. Revelation chapter 13 and verse number 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. So that's talking about Esau, okay, and his Democrat and Republican party. Just like the Roman Empire, they had a Senate house. They had the plebeians and patricians. This is Rome 2.0. You go into that word dragon, goes back into Draco, which is going back into draconian laws, which he's gonna implement these draconian laws in these last days, which is gonna make it possible for him to come down with great wrath and destroy you. Okay, he's already trying to implement birthright citizenship. He's trying to get his hands into that. But that's one means to open up another door, to open up this door to allow him to come and get you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans and do whatever the hell he wants to do. He might ship you to another country and he might kill your ass over there, okay, if you don't got the Lord dealing with you. But hey, we got to suffer all these things, and it is what it is. I'd rather die for the Lord than die like this damn devil's doing, putting fucking heavy metal fragments in your shredded cheese. He's killing your ass every single day. If the Lord gives you the ability to get put to death in an honorable way, hey, that's the way to go, man. You ain't worship, you ain't bound to need the image of Baal, man. Revelation 13 and 12, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, which is the Roman Empire, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, for the deadly wound was healed, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And he did that in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. He made those thermonuclear missiles come down on Japan. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. Yeah, you should make an image of the beast. And most of these nations, their economy, they set up their governments in the image of this government. So this whole world is they all following and worshiping. He got his religion in their countries. You got people as black as hell in Nigeria worshiping Esau. In Southern America worshiping Esau. Maduro, he was praying to Esau to help him in his battles, man. So these people done lost their damn minds, man. Okay? And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So causes not, you don't worship his image, you're going to be killed. So he's going to cause that to happen. That's going into these draconian measures. Right now you have freedom of religion. That's going to become an end. You don't take this MOTB, no matter what you worship, you're going to die, man. And you would hope that you were praying to a God that can actually have the power to save you in that time. And instead of praying to a false God, man, because those false gods are going to get you destroyed. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. So you already got the Neuralink. You got the MOTB already being established in dogs and cats, house pets. You're going to be a house pet. You're going to be given the same type of technology that your cat or your dog possess. All right? Revelation 13 in verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Yeah, the number of his name going into his universal product code, like a barcode that's going to be inside the MOTB. All right. So if you have that inside you, you got 666 right up inside you. Okay, you got the mark of the beast, and he says that no man might buy or sell. So that's going to be a time of temptation, a time of tribulation. You're going to be faced with death or what you believe in that time, and that faith is what's going to get you over whatever this devil got ahead of you. Revelation 13 verse 18, here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So that's 666. And you know Esau loves putting that. I even catch him doing it, putting it in regular news articles. You gotta pay attention. That's pretty much Esau. All right, but I'm gonna end it here. Lord's will, this was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Mechakwadash. Shalom, Abad Babal, and Kwam Yasharallah.